Poor time management is another problem. I think that's in the short term and long term. Another reason I had asked y'all to send me your schedules and your calendars is to make sure that you have something planned. I've seen students who just kind of go through the exam preparation, and I think they didn't really look at it long term or big picture. Maybe because it was too overwhelming. It's like, oh my gosh, how am I going to do all this? So I'm just going to go one day at a time. I think it's very important to map out your calendar. You only have 7 weeks left, but if you just plot a regular calendar like on Google Calendar, or you can do it on paper, but just have an idea. You know, there's like 3 days left for every topic, and on each day I have this many hours devoted to taking an essay or two. I have this many hours to doing some MBE questions, something like that, but allows you to see it big picture. You can still move things around as the days and weeks go by, but I think it's very important to be able to see everything. And that exact same concept can be analogized to the writing process. When you're doing your essays, you have 3 hours to write 3 essays, right? And they always tell you, make sure you do 1 hour per essay so that you're not cheating yourself. You give yourself enough time for every single one. I would delve even deeper and say when you're actually writing the essay, you have 15 minutes or so to outline it, and then maybe 45 minutes to write. In that 45 minutes of writing, to actually identify, well, here are the 3 main issues. I'm going to spend 15 minutes on this, 15 minutes on this, and then 10 minutes on this minor issue, and use those other 5 minutes to clean up or write everything else. But to kind of see it big picture, so that while you're writing, you're not suddenly, la-di-da, what do I do now? To keep looking at your schedule, at your clock, and go, oh my gosh, I only have 5 minutes left to write on issue 1, because I don't want to cheat myself. I still want to give myself the full 10 minutes to write on issue 2 and the full 10 minutes to write on issue 3. If that makes sense to y'all. Poor organization of essays and structure. That means the headings and subheadings are not very clean. They don't look like the model answers. It's all kind of jumbled up. Same thing with IRAC if it's not consistent. If I see the conclusion in the middle or the analysis of the facts are kind of all over the place. So far in the essays you've sent me, your IRAC looks pretty spot on. It's pretty consistent. And I noticed that most of y'all have added your the sufficient amount of headings and subheadings. And finally, I'd say the number one problem with students who are close, they're at the threshold of crossing over, is not enough analysis of the facts. So, just to explain, I would almost say there are 2 tiers of students that I work with who need to take the bar again. The first, foundationally, I have to work on them, work with them a lot on making sure they IRAC and they write complete sentences, and their headings are organized correctly. And those scores tend to be on the lower side. And I need to make sure we need to get that whole writing process, the foundation, set. The second tier are the ones who are, I think, really close to passing the bar exam. They might have missed by just a few points. The IRAC seems pretty good, and their essay structure is alright. Maybe they missed a couple issues here and there, but usually I feel like they just need to apply the facts more. They need to show that they can argue a lot more. And that's something I'll discuss later. We'll actually look at some of the work